All right, we are live on the stream. Ms. Roundley, you can check in about 20 seconds. All right, I am good on YouTube. Therefore, the stream is hot. Okay, about 3 minutes away. 3 minutes away. Ms. Roundley, how are we on the website? Okay, sounds good. Okay, sounds good. 2 minutes away. Okay, 3 o'clock, and Doc is on you. Unmute your mic.
Good afternoon, Tigers. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Texas Southern University School of Communication, Department of Radio, Television, and Film Majors meeting. I hope you all are doing well and continue to stay safe. And this fall semester is going well, all things considered. The reason for this meeting is to interact with you to check up on you to see how you're doing and to answer some questions that you might have, and that will impact how you continue for the fall semester and also progressing towards graduation. So we have made ample time for you to ask questions and for faculty members, including members of the SOC administration, represented by Lady Tiger of the moment, Dr. Brown Burton, our Dean, School of Communications. So without wasting too much time, Dean Brown has been gracious enough to stay on cue, and so I'm going to call up her now to give us a welcome message. All right, Dean Brown.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. You know I have to do my implements now. Hello, Tigers. Mostly Tigers. It's wonderful to see you all, to hopefully be present with you all at this time, even though we're not able to be together in person. This is one of the things that we're looking forward to introducing, whether we in our virtual community, but to continue even when we come back face to face on a more permanent basis. We want you to have opportunities to interact with each other, to get to know each other, to ask questions, to learn about opportunities that are, more specific to your interests, to get your feedback and input about things that you want to see do, or things that you want to do as RTF majors. What are some things that we can do as a faculty and administration to help you to make your experience even more positive and enjoyable, and to help you strengthen the skills that you need. So from time to time, there may be guest speakers brought in to talk to you all. We want to do a variety of things. So I don't want you to look at this as just a time that you're going to be talked at. We want you to see this as an opportunity to get some other things that we don't get a chance to maybe do in the classroom. But we want you to also know who your faculty are, because you may or may not have an opportunity to interact with certain faculty or take a class from a certain faculty member, but they may have an interest or some experience in an area that can be beneficial to you. And I'm just happy to be here with you. I want to thank you for being students in the School of Communication and in our radio, television, and film program, our largest program in the School of Communication. You're under great leadership with Dr. Ulasi, who is a two-time School of Communication graduate and an award-winning filmmaker and a very talented and caring person. So you're in good hands with your department chair. And I know all of you know him, and if you don't, that's another reason that we're having these meetings, so that you will know who we are. And I'm wearing our KTSU2 shirt, and we want all of you to know about that, about the KTSU2 student lab, multimedia lab, and experience is available to you all as well, and other things too. So I'm going to be quiet now, and I just want to say hi, and I hope your semester is going well, and let us know how you're doing. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ulasi.
Thank you, Dean Brown. Thank you so much for those kind words and sentiments, and always making our students feel at home and encouraging everybody. Thank you so much. And without wasting too much time, I think we're going to take 1 minute each for the faculty members to just say who you are, what you teach, in just 1 minute. Everybody, I think that we can accommodate that time. So if you're online, I see those that are currently online. Can we start with, I see Dr. Pude.
Hey, this is Reza Pude. I'm RTF major, interested in film and film studies. And my specialty is actually aesthetics, film aesthetics, and multimedia and instructional television.
All right.
And I've been here more than 30 years.
More than twice 30 years. And Reza, do you want to say anything else?
No, I think if it comes up, I would, if there is any question later on. Let's just be brief and move on.
Right. Thank you. And I see Professor Art Murray.
Okay. All right, let me switch it over here on this side, guys. Okay, give me a second here.
Art, you are on.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
your audio is muted. Mhm.
Yes, I'm actually on the stream live, but then the muted. Okay.
Okay.
So, so thank you guys, and the YouTube folks. You guys are seeing me here, but on our Blue Jeans, you probably not seeing me there. So, my name is Arthur Murray, Professor Murray. I am a retired news operations manager from KHOU 2 years ago. I teach everything from your journalism department into the RTF department as well. Anything from film to videography to editing. You name it. If it comes to the technical, then I will probably be able to assist. So I'm always free. I'm also the director of KTSU 2, so I'm always free to help you guys. Just come on aboard, and we want you guys to ask questions and just have a good time of being with us today. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Professor Murray. And our recent illustrious grad students and winner of the best, thesis in the university, Mr. Professor Chad. I guess I have to say Professor Chad this time. Chad, you are on. Chad, you have to unmute yourself. Yes. Chad, go ahead.
Hi, yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, this is Professor Chad. So I got my AAS in audio engineering. I have my AAS in visual art. I got my bachelor in RTF and got master in communication. So if you guys have any question, let me know, okay? So right now I'm teaching RTF 135, which is Introduction to Photography. So right now we are focusing on the composition of the picture and everything, and basic idea of how to use the camera.
Chad, are you still on? Okay, it's stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, he lost signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Well,
move
Dr.
on.
Ulase, may I go on?
Yes, please. And he's gonna
Okay. Yeah, he'll come back later. Well,
Yeah.
students, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Humphrey Regis. I have been a professor since 1983 at Hampton University, but I've been here at TSU since 2011. I have taught courses at the undergrad level and at the graduate level. This semester, I have at the undergraduate level COMM 340, Media, Power and Society, and RTF 438, Media and Society. In addition, at the graduate level, I have Introduction to Research in Communication. My courses have been going on quite well. I am pleased with the amount of discussion we are able to get from the students. Sometimes 1 or 2 or 3 students lead the discussions, but I'm sure all other students are getting the benefits of the discussions, and that's good. Thank you for having me at TSU, and I look forward to helping the students who are working with me this semester and seeing and helping more of you as the semesters and years go by.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Regis. Thank you. Next, and I think we have McBean online. Professor Clifford McBean.
Can you guys see and hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon. Thank you guys for having me. My name is Professor Cliff McBean. I am a 2-time Texas Southern University graduate. Got my bachelor's degree in RTF. I was taught by the illustrious Dr. Ulase, as well as the change your major because you're not taking it serious, Dr. Pude. I love both of these guys because they pushed us to really be who a lot of us have become, Dr. Teeth and myself, Tyrone Dixon and the likes. I'm very proud to be here and to be amongst you guys and to hopefully influence you guys to pursue that dream and don't just settle for a job. Pursue that dream. And I teach RTF 268, Introduction to Editing, where my goal is to ruin TV for all of you guys.
All right. Thank you, Professor McBean. And we have Professor Doris Childress. She's online. Professor Childress, please. I think you are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Professor Doris Childress. I have a radio and television background coming from PBS, which is the Public Broadcast Service System right here at KUHT Channel 8. I spent 23 years there producing documentaries and hosting public affairs shows. I teach media criticism and analysis, media literacy, and intro to documentary film. I would love to see you guys come through my classes because we have a lot of fun, learn a lot of things, and we hopefully put you on the right path to being a documentary filmmaker.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Childress. And I think we have Dr. T on the line, Professor John Thurker.
Hello. I'm John Tucker, media professional, recipient of NAACP Image Award for my work for a television show, children's show that I did for BET. Also been nominated for BET Hip Hop Awards, Director of the Year, and BET Awards for my work. I have been doing this media thing for quite a long time and really excited to bring a professional experience to the students and give them a skill set that will make them employable and go out and do great things and come back and give some of that money back to our department.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
All right. So I think, thank you, Professor Tucker. And I see Dr. Dixon, one of the, along the long line of illustrious Tiger alums. Dr. Dixon, all the way from...
It took me a second. I'm doing this on my phone. Computer was giving me the blues, so I had to figure it out.
All right. Let's go to Professor Goyer. Yeah.
Dr. Dixon's still there.
Oh, are you ready, Dixon?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Can you see me?
Oh, I thought you were fixing something you said.
No, I was just saying that's why I was late.
Oh, okay. All right, you're on.
Oh, well, I'm sharing a little bit about my story. Well,
we need to tell the students who we are, what we...
Okay, yeah, I love it. Well, I wish I were there in Houston with you guys.
Did you hear her?
No, I didn't. What'd she say?
Dean Burton. She said, what did you say? Unmute yourself.
Tell us how old you are, Dr. Dixon, and where you come from, and who you're. I'm just teasing. Sorry, everyone.
No,
all right.
All that out. But I'll make it quick and short. And originally from Houston, graduated from Jack Yates, Texas Southern University. Moved to Los Angeles in 1994 after working on a movie called Jason's Lyric in Houston. I met a few people, connected with those people when I moved to Los Angeles. I started working on movies like Panther, Players Club, Lord of Illusions, all kinds of things. As I worked my way up through the accounting department and eventually applied to AFI, where I received my MFA in producing and directing. And my first real, I did music videos and all of that good stuff. And my first real opportunity came with directing and producing a TV show with Debbie Allen called Cool Women. We launched the We Network, which is a very, popular network nowadays. But we launched it, and that was a huge opportunity for me to do that. We were nominated for Emmys for both seasons. We didn't win anything, but we were pretty good. Nonetheless, I got a chance to also work as a producer on a movie called Tupac Resurrection, which I hope many of you have seen. If not, you should see it. It's a great, informative documentary about Tupac from his point of view, from his voice. So I was a producer and second unit director on there, and then I did a documentary called Eight Wheels and Some Soul Brother Music, the history of roller skating from a Black perspective. It killed at festivals. I was able to take it to 20th Century Fox, pitch the idea for a feature film about roller skating. That turned into Roll Bounce, which I was one of the producers as well as a second unit director on that film. And all of those opportunities led me to continue to be an independent filmmaker producer. I'm working on a movie called Scouts, The Chronicles of Troop 242, which is about the Willow Avenue Baptist Church, their illustrious Boy Scout troop that's created more Black Eagle Scouts than any other troop in the nation. I'm also presently writing the screenplay with Dr. Berryhill based on his book called The Trials of Eeyore Brown, which myself and some students, some undergrad students, we produced a short documentary about the book, and we won Best of Show at the Houston International World Fest Film Festival. And, so I continue to push and make things happen. Like Professor Tucker said, my goal is to share the knowledge, to help young people find a way in this industry and bring it back, make it, reciprocal, come back and give back. And so we can keep this thing going.
Right.
So that's it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know you were going to talk to them some more when the Q&A comes through. Thank you,
Yeah.
Professor. Steve, go ahead. I think we just have a few, then we'll start taking questions from the students. Professor, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Yolasi. My name is Steve Goyette. I've been in the production business here in Houston pretty much for the last 40 years, and had some time in it working in upstate New York with Kodak and several cable TV systems. I'm a film school graduate from Southern Illinois University at Carbondale. And immediately after that, I arrived in Houston, and I worked in corporate advertising for a while, and then moved on over to freelancing and working with one of the largest production companies here in Houston called South Coast Film and Video. From that point, I went on to Rice. This is probably my fourth career move in my lifetime. And was a producer for their online platform through several different Coursera, several other different teaching platforms. Right now, what I'd like to do is give back with my expertise and my knowledge and help the students in terms of studio, on-location production, and corporate communications.
All right. Thank you very much. And you didn't add that you are the television studio manager too. So you do quite a bit of work for us.
I wanted to keep it under a minute.
Okay. Professor Randall, this is our distinguished honorary RTF. Professor Randall, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. My name is Ladonia Randall. I'm a graduate of Houston-Tillotson University, used to be Houston-Tillotson College, in mass communication. I got my graduate degree at Texas Southern in journalism. I've worked at different media outlets. One was KI in Austin as the special events coordinator. And I've also worked behind the scenes with different events. And I've also worked as a grip.
Right. All right. Thank you. And I think we can go now. We got everybody that's online so far. So students, the reason why we had to do those quick introduction is that some of you have not met all the great teachers that we have in the School of Communication, and especially here in the Department of Radio, Television, and Film. They cover the gamut from academia and the people who are mostly interested in research, the people who are in the professional area, to people with years and years of experience producing, directing, and working in all facets of media. So you have all it takes, to gain the knowledge necessary for you to succeed as a student, and also to embrace the world and also distinguish yourself in all respects. So right now, we're going to start taking questions, and Professor Murray, hold on one second, yeah. And in between, we'll bring some of our faculty members again to make certain clarifications on some of the issues that we have. So, Professor Murray, who do we have on the question?
As of right now, we have no questions, so you can carry on with everything else, but no questions right now.
Okay. There are some issues and some important trends in the field of communication and media. And I have asked Professor Dixon to say a few words about it to the students, for them to not just to be concerned with the classwork, but also to understand that so much is required in terms of cultural capital, social capital, and of course the knowledge aspect of it to be able to succeed. So Dr. Dixon.
I'll try to be as brief as I can and be as clear as I possibly can in relationship to what I feel like if you're in the radio, television, and film track, and this is the direction that you're going, or if you're in ERM, whatever you choose in our School of Communication, that the goal is to gain the knowledge so you're able to make yourself available for job opportunities, career opportunities, for those spaces in which you would create opportunities on your own. The industry is moving so fast, and because of COVID, we've had to make some really drastic changes. And so one of the things that I would recommend that you do in the beginning of your semester and for the rest of the time that you're in this program is that you pay attention to what is happening underneath the space of the industry. We're at the academy, we're there to learn, and we're there to share information. There are a lot of books we read, a lot of articles we read, a lot of videos we watch. But more importantly, you have to do the research. So key element to anything that you do in this industry, there has to be a certain amount of research that is applied. And you have to start there. So what I would recommend you guys is to research the industry. What's happening in the areas in which you want to go. And what I say to a lot of people, I wish that if I could have done this over again, which I really wouldn't change anything, but one of the advice that I would take, had it been given to me earlier on in my career, is to be focused. Is to be focused about what you want out of this degree plan, right? There's a lot that we can offer, but the more focused you are, the more opportunities you have to gain a lot of information about one thing versus a little information about a whole lot of things. And with that lot of information about one thing, you're able to move yourself into a position in which, because in this business, you want to do is get your foot in the door. And I know I'm preaching to the choir as it relates to the faculty, but that's what you ultimately want to do. You want to be in a position to get your foot in the door, but you've got to do this research about what's happening in the industry today, especially as it relates to COVID. What are the new protocols? What about the theater versus the streaming? What do we want? What opportunities can we create out of what we now know and what the future might be? So if you're bringing that to the table, when you come into the classroom, if you're coming to the classroom with that kind of thought process, I promise you, each of your professors will be able to give you more than what you came here for, right? Don't look at it as about utilizing equipment. You first have to understand telling a story. I don't care if it's a news story, journal, feature film, documentary, short film, music video, song, you write, whatever it is, there's a story associated with it. And we have to understand those. I think that the elements in which make a story work Then you can apply all those tools to knowing how to tell a story. And that's what you're going to get here. So as far as, I'm going to cut this short. As far as I'm concerned, what I want you to be able to do is to bring something to the table. Bring your experiences. Be willing to share. Show what you've done. This is the time in which, and don't be afraid of criticism. Okay? That's what you come here for. It's corrective. We all get it every day. But it's corrective in how you approach it, right? So that's what I want you to be able to do. That's my advice to you. And like Dr. Lassie said, things are changing. There's new. How are we doing things today? So you need to bring something to the table. We bring something to the table. And there's this reciprocity happening. And boy, man, can we not create something big, bad, and bold?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that inspiring, words of advice. They really needed. Things are changing, like you said, and we have to be resourceful as students. We have to be diligent. We have to be assertive. We have to go for it, and the sky will be the limit. I know that Professor Chad lost his signal, so we didn't get to hear all his introductions. So he's back again. So Professor Chad, it's all yours now.
Yes, hi. You hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, this is Professor Chad. Thank you for having me here. So pretty much, I got my degree in audio engineering. I got my degree in visual art and bachelor in RTF, also master in communication. So right now I'm teaching RTF 135, which is Introduction to Photography. Now, I always tell my student that if you want to be in the production field, right, you cannot only learn how to holding camera or holding the video, okay? So they have to learn, like Dr. Dixon said, they have to learn how to do research. They have to learn how to write the script and everything as well, okay? So in my class, instead of learning all the technical stuff, I also give the student about how you turn your picture to be a story, okay? This is the good way to learn more than just taking a picture, all right? So if you guys have any question, please let me know, okay? I also do research as well. If you guys have question about how to use the camera or how to do research, okay, you can ask me. So thank you very much.
Right, thank you, Professor Chad. And next, Steve, well, that's any questions? Otherwise, we're going to have Professor Murray just talk about the technology, how students can better do their work under, amid the COVID pandemic, and to help them reduce the anxiety level for not having access to all the technology they need. Professor Murray, please, if you are available to say a few words.
Yes. Okay. No questions. We have no questions right now. But, just kind of echo what everyone is saying. This business is yours for the taking. And don't let technology hold you back. If all you have is the camera in your hand, well, then you can shoot a movie with that. You can shoot a commercial with that. You can shoot a news story. You can shoot a documentary. It's simple things like, just getting, small things. Start with your small camera or your DSLR camera. If you have a DSLR, start with that. Work with these two elements right here. You could really, if you don't have a mic, you can take your DSLR and you can take your camera and you can record your audio here and you can shoot your video on this and you get some decent audio until you can buy a decent mic. So it's the equipment and technology, there's free equipment out there for you guys. If you want to download DaVinci Resolve, it's a free editing application. It works great. I use the free version myself, and I actually teach it in my classes as well. So it's a free program. If you can't get Final Cut Pro, if you can't get Premiere, then DaVinci Resolve. There is new technology that we have, so we're hoping that we get on the campus soon. Especially in the spring when all you guys can come back. We hope that we can get everybody there because we have new tools. We have new equipment that's come in. We have a cinematic camera that we're looking to purchase. It's not in yet, but it is the brand new Sony FX9 camera. And so that's going to be exciting for you guys. And so, you know, what we're trying to do as a department and as SOC is we're trying to make sure that every student, whether you're RTF, whether you're journalism, whether you're comm studies, whatever it is, that everyone has a seat at the table. So once again, the technology, just don't let it stop you. And by the way, if you are working on 699 and 499 projects and certain things, if your professor wants you to go and use some equipment, then we do have that open now. I mean, Mr. Goyette can talk about that now, but since the campus is open, students are actually checking out gear. You know, so you can get with Mr. Goyette and he can tell you about that. So once again, we're moving forward. The campus is open for those who are taking classes. And, you know, just don't let that stop you guys. Just ask a lot of questions, find your professors, and I'm telling you, bug them. And you know what? We enjoy that. We enjoy that about you guys. So so come on down.
Right. Thank you, Professor Murray. And Professor Murray mentioned Steve Goyette, and I think I'll call Steve now to emphasize and to add more to that, to let the students know that they have access to equipment that they need for their work and project.
So we did have a significant buy in terms of equipment coming up just recently. We have not only do we have new camcorders, we have new wireless mics, we have new tripods, and we have new boom mics. A lot of this is for the students' use that are in the classes, like Professor Murray said, in the 699 and the 499 classes. Please, we're in the process of making the online form. We're making the process of the checkout form viable for online so that we can get your signature as well as the professor's signature. I do need a little bit of time, 24 to 48 hours to put everything together and to make sure that I'm here. I am usually here in the office in the first floor, 126 of the MLK building, between the hours of 9 and 5. If I'm not in a meeting or not here, I usually can be reached quite quickly. But the equipment is here. It is available. We're trying to get the rooms, the podcast rooms, and the other studios up and running after all the construction. It has been very difficult because they weren't allowing other individuals, such as contractors or vendors, in during the pandemic or during the lockdown. So a lot of this, a lot of getting the equipment, the rooms ready, is falling upon my shoulders right now. So if we're here, we're available, and if you shoot me an email, I'll be more than happy to help you out in selecting equipment and getting it to you.
All right. Thank you, Professor Goyette. And Professor Childress, I know that a lot of our students are not just seduced by working in the industry. I know that film, television is a very seductive field. And most of them are talking about documentaries, short subject, documentaries that school students normally do. Can you, just talk briefly about, how students can think about it and utilize the time under COVID to get their work going and to eventually finish it? Professor Childress. Professor Childress, I think you are muted. Yes, she's all right, good. All right, Professor Childress, you're on.
You guys hear her? I can't hear her.
Yeah, I can hear her. Either. No. She unmuted herself, but I can't hear her.
Yeah, I can't hear her. We can move on.
Okay, so let's, Professor Maurice Odyne, could you say hello to the students? I saw you. Unmute yourself. Yes. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, faculty. Good afternoon, students. We are delighted that you are on with us. We would like you to know that we are here for you, and we're very happy that you found the time to join us.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Odyne. And Professor Childress, are you ready to just comment about on getting those short documentaries done during COVID? I think she has an audio problem there.
She may need to sign out and sign back in. That sometimes helps. That's what I just did with my computer. So now I'm back on my computer, not on the cell phone.
All right. Dr. Pude, please. Dr. Pude, I mean, long time, you just finished a documentary last year. You went back to study the great Iranian filmmakers that have been winning awards all over the world recently, some of the finest filmmakers. And you are doing a documentary on one of the most esteemed Asian filmmaker. Could you just talk briefly about how students can get their work going and completed under these conditions that we're in?
Yes, Dr. Yolassi, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
And the students also. Yes, I just, last year when I was on sabbatical or faculty leave, I went to Iran and I wanted to do a documentary on a social documentary in Iran. And of course, what is going on in Iran in terms of politically, I was very inhibited, actually. I've been advised to tone it down because of the sensitivity of the situation, political situation. So I just finished this documentary. I'm working on a series profiling the most prolific Iranian documentary filmmakers. One of them is Khosrow Mokhtari that I just finished. I've been talking to Steve in terms of subtitling the documentary, and hopefully it's already finished. Actually, the editing is finished. It's just the subtitles for the parts that are in Persian. But I think hopefully soon it will be finished with an hour documentary. But going back in terms of, as I said, I've been here, Dr. Yolassi, you've been here more than I do, but again, we've been here for a long time.
That's why.
Yeah, and all these years, I always taught undergraduate courses. That was my passion. I wanted to teach introductory courses, which is RTF 131. We changed it to 231, so many years back and forth. And also RTF 499, which is a capstone course. Now we also have a capstone course for our graduate courses, 699. And it's always at 131, I'm teaching 131. The only time that I stopped teaching those courses when I became the interim dean in 2015, but all those years and before, and it was actually a good time to remember Professor Bob Williams, who is recovering, and he has taught 499 for many years. Let's all pray for his health, and hopefully he will be back on campus soon. And also remember our late Professor Winslow Jeffries, who is not among us anymore. God bless his soul. So we have really been here where my passion has been working with the students and working with the students who are serious. One thing that I tell the students is that once you're taking RTF 130 and 131, you should know whether this is what you want to pursue as a career or not. And I always tell them, when I went to school, I wish somebody would have told me that we do not want to, we still have students who are graduating and still don't know what to do with the RTF degree. I have students who have transferred to pharmacy and vice versa. And it's that the ones who came back to RTF, these are the ones who really were passionate about what they want to do. When they get up in the morning, they want to do something that is creative, and they have a passion for it. And sometimes they ask me how much money I want to make when I finish this degree. I said, you could be millionaire or billionaire overnight simply by writing one script, or you may not make a name at all, throughout your career, but you are happy. When we get up in the morning, you are happy that what you do, and you enjoy that. So if you are that type of person, and I think Professor McBean alluded to that, I've been saying this for all these years, and I'm not tired of saying that again and again, that if you're not passionate about what you do, really you want to change your career, you want to pursue something else. Now, as far as the equipment is concerned, I know we have a lot of courses. We have 2 sections of videography course, 2 sections of photography course. We have 699, we have 499, we have 20 students in 499. These are a lot of students who all need to have access to equipment. And I'm encouraging all of you, especially 499 students, 699, is that please get on with it quickly, because you have a number of projects to do, especially if you're working on your thesis or master project for 699. You need to start early, because after the mid-semester, we're going to have a lot of demand. And I know we have more equipment, but still it's not enough for everyone. And so we need to encourage everyone to do their, of course, my 131 class, most of them, they are doing it on either they have their phone they use, or they have a DSLR. Some of the women just shoot film, if you're passionate about film. And I checked with Steve, we have about maybe 20 cameras, Nikons, 3200 and 3500, and also some film F10, if I'm not mistaken. So these are all available for students who can hear me right now. So you can, all you have to do, as Professor Goyette mentioned, that you need to go on campus, check out the equipment, and I've already posted his contact information on Blackboard for you. So all you need to do is just reach out to him, send him an email. As he said, he needs 48 hours for you to get equipment ready for you. As far as I'm concerned, I love documentaries, and I worked for National Iranian Television before I came to this country, and made documentaries. And when I came here, I wanted to get my master's degree at Boston University and go back and teach at school I graduated from. I was among the 6 people who actually got scholarship from the government of Iran to come here and finish my study. At the same time, I was getting my psychology, and I have gone to film school. So I was passionate about what I wanted to do. And if you are passionate, things gonna happen for you guys. If you trust that your instinct, if you trust, of course, if you're a godly person, you can get something is gonna guide you if you're passionate. So that's the main thing. All of us are here to help you. And I haven't lost my passion. Dr. Lassi hasn't lost his passion. We've done so many things in terms of, I've done a lot of work in administration that I hope that I spend on being creative. I miss those years but at the same time, I'm so happy that I helped so many students to achieve their goals. And to this date, I still receive emails from people who were my students 20, 30 years ago. And they are appreciative of what have you done, TSU has done for them. TSU is very specific. You cannot compare it to any other university, okay? Because it's very specific. We have students that come from all background, and that's fun. That's what we're going to work with everyone. In one class, we have so many students in different level, and we have learned how to work with them individually. But one thing we're going to hear from you that you're passionate and you want to work hard. And when I ask you to write a summary, 250 words, it doesn't mean 2 sentences, okay? I'm sorry, Dr. Yolassi, I can talk forever. So
okay, no, that's okay. We know that passion, Dr. Okay, even our dean who just left to help Com Studies get started. She said, I heard, RTF Com Studies person too. That's why she started. And I know she has some very important, pertinent, information she's going to pass on with the students, very soon. So Dean, please, could you hang on just a little bit more so that you can talk for us? But we have questions. Let's go to Professor Murray. I think Kevin Adams, Dean, Assistant Dean Kevin Adams, taking questions also from students. Can we get the first question?
Yeah, so the question is, any student organization associated with RTF department, how can students get involved? That's number one.
Can I speak to that, please? Because I know that.
Yeah, go ahead, Dixon.
So, yes, in the RTF department, we have TSU TV, TSU Studios. That is a student organization that I've been affiliated with since 2011. And we have made documentaries, short films. We've submitted to film festivals. We've won. We've raised money on campus. We had our own account. We were doing things. And I know that COVID has kind of blocked things up a little bit, but we want to make sure that we can move forward with that organization and keep it moving and keep it in the forefront. We have wonderful students that have managed to develop social media accounts and really work to reach out to not just everybody, but more specifically reach out to alum of our university that spend time on social media so that we can get them to come back, get them to share. And more importantly, this is our distribution outlet. At one point, we had a TV deal with Comcast. It was the worst deal ever. And because it's over, I can say that. But now we don't need Comcast. We don't know. We're doing our own streaming opportunity. And with the professors like Steve Goyette and Art Murray and Bob Willem and McBean and Dr. Tucker, we're in a position to be able to really magnify that streaming process, right? Because KTSU2 is doing some of that. And so aligning all of those things together is what our ultimate goal is, so that things are working in a cycle. And in a cycle is how you draw people in. And that's what we're going to look to do. So if you're interested in the RTF school organization, please email me. My email is tyrone.dixon@tsu.edu. I'm sure if you go on the school's directory, you can find it. But if you're interested in that organization specifically, because we have the ERM Alliance, which is a fantastic organization that's moving folk who want to work specifically in the music world and the management of music, the management of tours, all of that kind of stuff. You're having an opportunity to get that from Dr. Newman and Professor Williams. And there's that organization exists. And I know that the journalism department has an organization. But as far as RTF is concerned, it is the TSU TV Studios organization, and I am the active advisor for that organization. So please email me if you have any questions. That's it.
All right, thank you, Dr. Dixon. The next question, yeah.
Okay. All right. So the next question, we have two actually. What are some beginner tips for filming and editing? And also, are there any internships available? Okay, I can answer that. Yes. So, beginning tips, guys. The very basics that you want to do when you're filming is you want to definitely make sure you're reading. And that's kind of funny. You want to look at other people's work. You want to see what other people are doing. You want to watch other folks. You want to read. You want to get that down, get the foundations down. And furthermore, you want to, in your classes, you want to ask a lot of questions. So take those classes those entry-level classes, editing. Make sure you're taking Professor McBean, and make sure you're taking Professor Tucker and myself for videography. That's the basics. Once you get that, then you move on and you can start working during some larger projects. But you got to get the fundamentals down. So one thing, just make sure you're watching, make sure you're listening. Also on KTSU2, we have a training site for everybody to come to. It's for SOC. It says KTSU2, but it's for SOC. And we have documentary, we have news, we have, just it's tips on editing. Everything you need is sitting right there. Joshua Ricks has another question. How do we get involved in TSU Studios and TSU TV? Dr. Dixon just told you that. He just go and email him, guys. Also, Professor Goyette as well. Also, if you're to get in contact with me, we can direct you in those places that you can go to start working. If you want to get involved, TSU Studios, KTSU2, it's all, we're all in it together. So we want you guys to get involved doing all the projects that we're working on. So thank you. And I think that's it for the questions.
Let me call on our dean. I think she can share additional information for our students before our time is up. Dean Brown.
Thank you. Thank you all. This is a wonderful meeting and that you all are having. And for those of you that are joining us, you are having a wonderful opportunity here to hear from very experienced faculty. And I hope that the passion and commitment and dedication that they have to not only their craft, but to you and the School of Communication and the students in the department, that you feel it, because it's very genuine. We have some very talented individuals, and they can be anywhere, practicing their craft more full-time and away from here, doing so many other things, but they have found it within themselves to give back. Some of them give back in addition to continuing to do some wonderful things. All of them continue to do wonderful things, but you have some very experienced, passionate, caring faculty, and they are right, and everything that they've shared with you all and deposited this afternoon is so true, that you not going to happen by osmosis. You're going to have to get in it. You can't just like it. You really do have to have a commitment to it and a passion, so that even when you don't feel like it, you'll still do it. And so you've gotten some wonderful advice and gotten some wonderful tips and heard from some phenomenal experienced faculty and that really care. This is one of the departments that has the most SOC graduates. And a lot of it is because they want to give back and because they are appreciative of what the school and the faculty gave to them and helped them to accomplish. And they want to give back. And that's what it's all about. It's always about giving back. And so we just want you to get involved. So in one of the things that you want to do to get involved is to do your best and learn the craft, get the foundation in your classes so that you can join up in these organizations and other opportunities to perfect it, to master it, and to strengthen and develop your own personal portfolio. We want to make sure that you have a very competitive portfolio when you leave and that you are able to compete globally, because with the transition and the paradigm shift that we are in the midst of now, it's a wealth of opportunity. And we want you to think beyond Houston, beyond Texas, beyond the United States of America, because the opportunities are there. So whenever there's a challenge or you run into something, don't get frustrated and down about it. Look at it as an opportunity. Identify the little opportunities that are there that can be found in any challenge or obstacle that you might perceive to be there. A lot of times the obstacles that we consider are imagined.
All right. Thank you, Dean. I think we have some more questions. So let's see if we can get those questions in before our time is up. Professor Murray.
No more questions right now, Dean. Doc?
Yeah, Professor Murray.
Yes. I don't think we have. Let me see. I think we've answered all the questions here. Yes. Right, I think that was me typing in the comments.
Okay.
I was responding to some of the students so we can just get them, in the right direction.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And I know that Professor Childress had problems. She had to log out and log back in. Professor Childress, are you back? She's it's technology.
I think she wanted Dr. Dixon to talk about that, to talk about.
Oh, okay. Okay, so.
I mean, I could just, I guess I remember the question, if I remember it correctly, Doc, was, what can we do to get these documentaries done? Or how do we move forward getting documentaries done during this period of COVID? And I think that if we pay attention to what's happening on television and seeing how productions are getting done, then we don't have to be afraid to utilize this format that we're on right now. I love how I see a number of my friends who are in the industry and they're keeping their brands alive by doing these FaceTime lives or Instagram live situations, and they light their situation. I mean, like anything else, you would want to light it properly and then be able to get good sound. I think you get good sound from this format. One, don't be afraid to use this. Don't think that these Zoom calls or Zoom interviews, as it would be for you, is not acceptable, because that's not true. They're very acceptable. What we would like for you to do is to really be thoughtful about it when you're interviewing someone, is to make sure that they have a good background, that there's some depth behind them, that you're paying attention to the rule of the thirds, and you're paying attention to your composition, and more importantly, you're paying attention to your sound. Because sound is as far as I'm concerned, in documentary, it kind of ekes out the video, because you can always find other images to put over good sound. It's hard to find good sound to put over a terrible image. So you have to be thoughtful of that, right? And I think that the other part of it is just being confident that the technology that you have in your hand is powerful enough to get a story told. Too many people are getting it done. Too many people are getting it done. Too many networks are getting it done. Production companies, individual filmmakers are getting it done. You cannot allow, like Dr. Murray said, the technology to hold you back. So that's the big key thing about getting it done, is to be confident that you have the technology to make it happen now. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Dixon, and for chiming in for Professor Doris Childress. And I know, just one minute, I know Dr. T has been working on a major project, and also I would like for Professor McBean to also chime in 1 minute before we go in. Dr. T, with all your background, you're a graduate of this great institution, and you've been working, and you're back here. And as I know, people complain, say, "Oh, why are you coming back to TSU?" And I remember the words of one great BBC reporter. BBC, one of the most esteemed organizations in the history of broadcasting. Their workers don't get paid a lot, but they would rather work for BBC than make the hundreds of thousands of dollars elsewhere, because they want to be associated with the BBC. And I feel that same way for many of you who have finished school and come back here. And I know Dixon is in LA, he could be working there, but his heart is in Houston. And of course, the heart and soul of Houston is Texas Southern University. So that's why he's here. Dr. T, just a few tips for our students. And before we get to one more question, I see a question come on. Okay, go ahead. Unmute yourself, your sound. Your sound.
How about that? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. One of the things that I really like to express to the students, and I tell the students all the time, if you believe that you can do it, you can achieve it. You have to work hard. And so I always tell the students, I'm a graduate, Texas Southern. I jokingly tell them that I graduated, thank you, Lordy, because I had people like Dr. Ulasi and Dr. Pude pushing me until real work ethic started to develop. And everything that your instructors are telling you, when they're telling you you need to read, you have to do research, these are things that you're going to have to do in the field. You have this $1 million idea for a project. It doesn't just happen because it's $1 million idea in your head. You're going to have to put forth effort and produce that project. And especially when you're starting out, you're going to wind up doing a lion's share of the work yourself until you can show that this project is a viable project. So don't waste the time that you have right now in school, not exploiting your opportunity to make things bigger, because this is the same things that you're going to need to do when you go out into the real world and be great.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Professor Tucker. I know our Assistant Dean Adams, Dean Adams, in charge of our student services, and he's up there getting questions, and I would like for him to chime in before we close. But I think there's a question also from one of the students. Yeah, Professor Murray.
You give me 1 second here. Okay. Yes, we do have, let's see. Yes, we do. Jobs for RTF students. What are the opportunities are out there for students?
Good question. Who wants to take that? Dr. Pude, Dr. Dixon, you're going to address that question. Jobs for RTF students, graduates.
For those that have graduated with an RTF degree, first you're going to understand the importance of a production assistant and being able to be in a space to assist people along the way in production spaces. But not only that, one of the things I wanted to share is that there's as much as we do production and there's technology and there's this imagination and you're creating and you're telling story, that there's a whole nother hierarchy of people who are choosing individuals who get to be the ones that get their stories told, that get the money to then produce the projects. So as much as we're looking for opportunities in production spaces, which you should be reaching out to news stations, you should be reaching first your professors. Reach out to your professors first to see what opportunities they might know of. Secondly, reach out into the community of the news, if that's the direction you want to go. The news for companies that are local. Secondly, check in with your local film commission. The film commission, the Houston Film Commission, can help guide you to all of the other companies that support the film commission, which may give you these internship or these introductory positions like a PA kind of position while you're there in Houston, Texas. If you're coming out here to Los Angeles or go to Atlanta, you're going to have to be able to connect with all of the professional and trade associations and organizations like the unions. The unions help you to put that, get yourself in the place of where opportunities are. The trade magazines. That's another place where you find opportunity. Be up on HollywoodReporter.com. Be up with Variety.com. Read NoFilmSchool.com. Backstage.com. These are places in which that you find out what's happening in the industry as a whole, and then you can see where you can get in, where you fit in. So this is why it's so important to stay focused. Like Dr. Pude said earlier on, we both said the same thing. If somebody had told us to be more focused along the way, we were probably doing a whole lot more than what we've already done. But you get a head start and focusing right now. If you know it's news that you want to do, focus it. If you want to make film, focus. If you want to be a director, focus that. If you want to be a producer, focus that. If you want to be a writer, be more focused in that space. And so once you're more focused, then we can help direct you into the places that you can get into to get those entry-level jobs. I'm going to say one last thing. My wife is a finance executive for Warner Brothers. She hates when I brag on her, but that's what her deal is, right? And she's always looking for accountants. I got my first major job in this business. I went from making no money to $900 a week because I was able to pay attention in the accounting office and do payroll and do petty cash. And that got me into the rooms with the producers and the directors. So I learned even more. So she's always looking for accountants. So when you're looking for some electives to take real electives. Take electives that will benefit your major. So go take an accounting class.
Dr. Dixon, in addition to all the resources, all the sources you enumerated. It's important that they keep in touch with their professors because they have connections also, just like you, your spouse have a connection to the major studio. So that's good. Thank you very much. We really have to call in Assistant Dean.
I can go for days.
Don't worry, I know the passion is still there. The passion lives. Assistant Dean Adams.
Hey, Dr. Ulas, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Just my TSU shirt, please.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Actually, just one or two words from the student service perspective. First of all, thank you for allowing us to join the call. This has been a great meeting as we start to interact with our students more on a departmental level versus the entire school. So I think they get that more intimate one-on-one with the RTF faculty. So I commend you for that. For the student service perspective, for those of you who may have some issues have been purged or NAT, today is the last day to get that resolved. We've had several emails, several students contacting us today to make sure that they get that settled. One other thing is that we will be having, for those students who are graduating, I'm sure you have some seniors that's on this call. Everyone's excited about fall graduation, and also those who are planning to graduate in spring 2021. We will be having a meeting on Thursday. I'm sorry, the deadline is Thursday, October the 15th. That's for fall graduation. And then the spring deadline is Friday, October the 23rd. The last day to drop classes for those who want to get out of a class is Friday, October the 23rd also. So a lot of things are up and coming, but really that's all I just really had, just a few comments. Excited about the semester. RTF is our largest school this semester. I just got the enrollment data today. You have 217 students in the RTF program, which is the largest in the School of Communication. And so we're looking forward to working with all of them to make sure that they're successful in their pathway to graduation. Thank you for student services.
All right. Thank you very much. And well, I'd like to thank everyone. And Dean, you want to say a parting hello to the students before you leave?
I do. I want to make an announcement of some things that are coming up that I want them to be on the lookout for. We have this week, we've gotten some great news. We've got some really good news about some opportunities that are going to be announced in the upcoming days. Just to hear opportunities to hear about internships in the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that. Also, the KTSU2 block party is coming up, the virtual block party on October the 3rd. And we are, the KTSU team is really excited. It was conceived, this is a student conceived and executed idea. So please be looking out for that information and how you can participate, but also how you can get involved with our student organizations, KTSU2, TSU, TV Studios, ERM. Don't be open to opportunities across. And you've heard some great information. Have a wonderful, blessed, and safe weekend, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Dean. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone. And thank you, students. If we didn't get to answer all your questions, feel free to send us email. You can reach the Dean's office, any of our faculty members in the School of Communication, and especially radio, television, and film. Just in your class, send them a message, questions, and they will get you to the right person to answer your question. So we thank you very much, and I thank everyone that's been on the line. Let's continue to stay safe and work hard, and continue to help our students. That's the focus and of our work here. So thank you all for all you're doing, all the incredible RTF faculty and our dean and assistant dean, and for everything you're doing. So we love it. We continue to grow. And that's one thing, I think it was Dixon who said it and also re-emphasized it. Take advantage of this situation that we're in. Okay, things happen because things that are not normal happen. Okay, and people take advantage of it. You're telling a story. Come on, use Zoom, use all the modern, use it to interview your subject. Don't wait until you are safe enough to travel to go do it. No, do it. It will understand that project is part of the times that we're in. If you watch television, you see that reporters are all at home, remotely telling the story. And so that's what you need to do. So don't be constrained, don't be hindered, by the pandemic. Take advantage of it. They said that necessity is the mother of invention, and things happen and you take advantage of it and progress. So I wish every one of you a great rest of our fall semester and continue to work hard, study hard, do your very best. And please stay safe. Okay? We don't want any story that TSU has incidents of reoccurring COVID and all this stuff. We just want to continue with the good news so far. So thank everyone and have a great weekend. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Right.
Thank you, Dean.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Lassie. Thank you,
Thank
team.
you.
Go Tigers.